Levels is good. Levels is good. Levels good. Daily Go Get It Business Show all up in your area. Pretty Petty Tuesday. I know that we are in the Hump Day Wednesday time frame, but you always have to remember that we represent the day before, before midnight. And that was Pretty Petty Tuesday. How is everybody feeling tonight? Huh? Good. I hope so. Tonight on the Daily Go Get It Show, we are talking about everybody was doing it at the time. Everybody was doing it at the time. When you mixed up in some messiness, when you mixed up in some craziness, when you think about the things that you've done in the stickiest times that you've ever had in your life, and a lot of times you're doing what you're doing, or you're mixed up in what you're mixed up in, or you are a part of what you're a part of because your peer groups are around you. Now, I'm not saying that it's all because of peer pressure, but it may play into your feelings that this is the thing to do at the time. And it's funny because whenever I hear somebody say, everybody was doing that at the time, like sometimes it's something harmless, like wearing platform shoes in the 70s. Everybody was wearing platforms. I get it. Was every single person wearing platform shoes? No. Was everybody wearing butterfly collars? No. Was everybody wearing leisure suits? No. But were there a whole lot of people wearing that kind of stuff? Yes. And you may have been in an environment where y'all was at the disco. Boogieing on down, getting funky. So when everybody around you, when the people within your vision are around you and they're doing a certain thing and you're caught up in it, you may feel like, yeah, everybody was doing it. Everywhere I looked, everybody I knew was into that sort of thing. Yeah, it doesn't mean that it was the right thing to do. It doesn't mean that everybody was really into that kind of stuff. But the people that were in your immediate circle within your field of vision may have very well been participating in that sort of stuff. The problem with this concept is that sometimes it goes too far and it may get you into trouble. It may have caused a lot of trouble for you. Like, imagine being in a gang. You in a gang. I'm Run from Run DMC, like Cool's from Cool and the Gang. When everybody is a gang member and you are out there doing gang member stuff, you may find yourself running from the cops. You may find yourself trying to fight for your life in court. You may find yourself doing years and years in prison. And you're thinking like, what? But everybody was doing it at the time. I just got caught up. Everybody was what? Everybody was killing. Everybody was murdering. Everybody was beating up people, robbing people, selling drugs, practicing crazy, getting into crazy sexual situations. What are you talking about? The life of a gangster ain't sweet like that, baby. No. Yo, I was in the gang. It was like that when we used to hang. Yeah, and I used to bang. When I was little, I drank Tang. You know what I'm talking about, man. I'ma do my thing. But seriously, when I was a younger boy, I was in this kind of stuff and it would destroy a whole lot of my mental frame, what I was doing. And I felt like I was right on the road to ruin. And I said, I'm screwing up my whole life and I'm never going to have no kids, maybe a wife. But I ain't going to have nothing positive. And I know I got a lot inside and a lot to give. Interrogative. You know what I'm talking about. People want to be done with the program but can't walk it out. And I'ma stalk and shout and keep it moving. Yo, when I was young, I was showing and proving that I could be a real bad boy. But now I gotta be coy. I gotta make sure I put stuff out of my world. Yo, I'm concentrating on my kids and my girl. so I can make it more positive for later. And I'ma be all right because I know haters really want me to go down with the ship. And I see so many die, so I ask myself why. Why am I still here? It's like buyer's remorse. No survivor's remorse. You know, and of course, sometimes you feel bad about the things you did, but you can't change none of that stuff that you did, kid. It's gonna be all right going forth. Yo, it's the 13th, but the 4th. Actually, it's the 15th right now. How does the time go so fast? I ask, wow. So that's, you know, but everybody was doing it at the time, man. Everybody was doing it at the time. You know, everybody's talking about, let's go straight to the bank. Now, there are some things that you may have been a part of at a particular time that you could never say that everybody was doing. There's some things that there's no way that everybody was doing. You know, like when people get caught up with drugs, you know, when you get caught up in the drug world, whether you're selling or whether you are using and abusing and you know, being lost in your addiction. And you may feel like I've heard people say everybody was sniffing coke. Everybody was sniffing coke back in those days. Everybody was sniffing coke at the time. What do you mean? There's never been a time when everybody was sniffing coke. Most people don't even know where to go buy any coke. But when you are in that world and you're high, you're thinking from a standpoint of your peer group doing that kind of stuff. That's the way y'all was living. I get it. I totally get it. Please, can y'all do me one favor? One favor, and I think y'all know what the favor is. Please just hit the like button. Hit the like button. I promise to deliver. I promise to deliver on a like. I'm going to deliver on a like you paid me for it. For real. What's up, G and me? G and me. I'm glad you changed your life, King. Christ be with you always. I love that tambourine. That's what's up, man. Now walk it out. That's what. No, I was never a gang member, my dude. I must confess. It's one of the most proud. I've never been a gang member. I've never sold drugs. I've never used drugs. Did I get in trouble in other ways? But you'll never hear me say everybody was doing it at the time. I used to break dance. Was everybody break dancing at the time? No. Were there a lot of people that I hung around doing it? Yes. But that doesn't mean everybody. But a lot of times when people will use the whole everybody was doing it at the time excuse to excuse themselves from all kinds of shit that they may have gotten themselves into that they knew wasn't right. They knew it wasn't right, but it was like, but everybody was doing it. You know, I just got caught up. Everybody was doing it. So you knew robbing people was wrong. You knew stealing from people that you knew was wrong. Yeah, but everybody was doing it. Everybody. Come on, man. Come on, man. What was that? David Lee said weed and liquor and cigarettes the best. No hard drugs for me ever. Okay. Shoot, if you ask me, the worst thing on your list was the cigarettes. I would definitely do hard drugs before I do cigarettes. That shit kills, son. You know what I mean? Please watch yourself when it comes to that. Travis, what's good? You're back, huh? Okay. You know, I like that. You know, a lot of times people take certain material that we talk about, they take it a little personally. You know what I mean? Take it a little personally, but we good. We good. Hold on. You may not be the Travis I'm thinking about. You know what I mean? Let me make sure that we good. But nonetheless, welcome to the show. What's that? IR Helix? What's that? IREHLX. Okay. All right, let me see. Peter Jones, DJ Funk Flex. Not sure where that's coming from. This train is a clean train. This train. Michelle, what's going on, man? How y'all feeling? Everything is good. Everything good, baby. Everything is going to be all right. So we're going to talk about not really the pitfalls of peer pressure, but we're going to talk about how people try to justify some things that they may do. I mean, we all started from small. We all had to learn. None of us were preloaded. We're preloaded with all of the knowledge, wisdom, understandings, and the keys to success. We all had to learn from an old head or an older brother, sister, guidance counselor, parent, teacher, coach. We all made mistakes, really bad mistakes. And we all had some stuff that we had to clean up. The thing is, many of us made the decision to clean up, and some of us left it kind of dirty and blamed it on somebody else. And that's what I consider it to be when somebody says, everybody was doing it at the time. Everybody, I mean, you know, teenage pregnancy. Now, don't get me wrong. Every life that comes into this world is a gift. But when that life comes into this world at 13, 14, 15 years old, it doesn't feel like a gift. It just doesn't feel that way. It is ultimately when everything is said and done and the smoke clears and we can look back on the teenage years. If you can make it to 20 years old without having another child, you know, that's the thing. When you experience a teenage pregnancy, the biggest scare or the scariest thought that you may have is that, yo, they may get pregnant again. You know what I mean? Parents have had to go through this thing. And plus, once your child has a child of their own, they don't feel like they're a child anymore. It can turn a household upside down, especially if they have other siblings that are watching this like, oh, so this is how I can keep from getting on punishment. I'll have me a baby of my own. Well, anyway, one thing about teenage sex is that you feel like everybody was doing it at the time. Oh yeah, the girls, the boys in my class, they were doing it. Everybody was doing it. I just happened to get caught up. Everybody else didn't get pregnant. I did. Or maybe it was a situation where there was so much. You know, I'm Gen X. I'll be 56 next month. I'll be 56 years old next month. So growing up as a teenager in the 80s, I saw there was nothing but teenage pregnancy. You know, it just was. You know, I went to school with mad girls that was carrying around packages, going to night school, having to take a work schedule so they could take care of their baby. You know, they could leave school early, take care of their kids. And sometimes they were kids. It was crazy, but it was what it was. And they might look back on those years like, well, everybody was doing it. No, everybody wasn't doing that. Plenty of people waited until they were out of high school and maybe even out of college before they started having children. But there are communities where teenage pregnancy may have been more prevalent. Still doesn't mean everybody was doing it. Richard Merlehead, Dame Mad Beats. Okay. Good guy activism. What's good? Glad to see y'all, man. Glad to see y'all. So that's what we talking about tonight. 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 That's what we talking about. That's what we talking about tonight, yo. I'ma spit these lyrics and get it right. Everybody was doing it at the time. Sometimes it was sexual, was just a crime. Had to go to juvie. Shit was crazy, like a bad movie. On Tubi. And you know how Tubi get. Shout out to Tubi. Shit. You gotta watch something somewhere. Everything can't be made with care. Balling on the budget. got caught out there and was like, fuck it. I'm always in trouble now, so I might as well let it go down. You ever feel like that since you get in trouble anyway? You might as well make your pockets fat or do what you gotta do. You got kicked out too. Expelled from school, yo. Running around cutting the fool, avoiding the cops, yo. Pulling out all stops. I wish I was young again. No, I don't. I'm glad to be a grown man, my friend. Cause freedom is what I need. See, when you're young, you gotta be abiding by the things that you're siding with. And your parents tell you do. You better get with that shit for you. Understanding, wisdom, knowledge. 18, I went to college. Enough is enough. Trying to make my shit a little bit easier, cause life's rough. You know how it go. Son 752. My name is Omar. Outstanding man, arrogant, rough. Enough is enough. 8 is enough. That was a hell of a show. Used to watch it every Wednesday. Yo, Dukes of Hazzard Friday night. I was about 7 to 18. Yeah, think I remember that. Incredible Hulk. Woo! Yo, shout out to 1970s TV. Happy Days, Laverne Shirley. Yo. Okay, you can't call in while I'm doing my preamble. Call back in the middle before life is in shambles. And then I'll let you come in. You understand, sexuality? Yeah, everything's gonna be good right here in front of this camera. It's where I stood every night. Thanks you for coming through. Everything I'm gonna play for you. Word. Sometimes you just want to find out if the phone number works. I understand. I do. You know, this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to turn the sound all the way down. So y'all can call it. Y'all can call all y'all want now. Now it won't matter. Yo, keep ringing it. Yo, this is my show. I'ma keep bringing it. Just like the fruit basket on your head. In Africa, understand the words I said. Travel the world, make sure I see everything that around me should see. The sign and see. You know American shit. Yo, let's get with it. Keep on rocking the bridge, keep rocking the bridge, we keep rocking the bridge, keep rocking the kids, we keep rocking. Okay. All right, let's get it popping, y'all. Are you ready? Are you ready? Urban Therapy with Son 752. With this your daily. It's the daily go-get-mism show. You think it ain't when it is. You think it won't when it whiz. We are here and we are in motion. We do this thing. Taking off fast lane, no coasting. And everything is going to be all right. We talking about everybody was doing it at that time tonight. So, my name is Son 752. I'm feeling like a real man should. And I hope y'all feeling like real men and women should as well. Like I said, we're talking about everybody was doing it at the time. Everybody was doing it at the time. Oh, damn. Good guy activism. He started off good. He started bitching. So you don't know how to play? Okay. That's an opinion. An opinion that'll stay in the chat. Demon Hunter, what's good? What's good? All right, I'm ready. Let's go. shall we? Let's get into this thing. Let's get into it and get involved. These puzzle pieces right now, we gonna solve. Get into it. Get involved. These puzzle pieces right now, we gonna solve, y'all. Get into it. Get involved. These. Get into it. Get involved. Get involved. We. Get involved. We. Okay. All right. 20 minutes in. That's what's up. So I'm going to go over here and get my chair. No, I don't stand up for the whole program. Just in case you're new around here. Just in case you're new around here. That's what's up, QG125. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Mucho. All right, so let's go. Everybody was doing it at the time. Have you ever heard anybody say that? You know, this is a good chance that you may have never heard anybody express their experiences that way. A lot of times people will say that everybody was doing it at the time when they was doing some things that they knew better than to do. You know how like if you told your parents that you only did something because your friends were doing it, that wouldn't go over well. But you could tell a stranger that later on, after you've already gone through the trials and tribulations and suffered the consequences of whatever you were doing. You can look back on that stuff and be like, yeah, everybody was doing it. Like I said, when you look back and I hear people talk about, you know, everybody was sniffing coke, everybody was shooting heroin at the time. I'm like, where? What time was this? Where'd you live in? Kensington, Philadelphia, something like that? Where and when is everybody doing drugs? Especially, you know, drugs like heroin. Like, where? No doubt, Justine. Jeff Sprayberry all up in the house. What's going on, my G? You know what I'm saying? No jumper clips. Hey, brother, thanks for the... Oh, God, here we go. Well, what is it? What is it that makes people come and start talking that gay shit late at night? What is that? What is that? I'm trying to imagine what would make me go on a man's live broadcast and, you know, like present myself that way. Maybe in his world, everybody does that. 10, 20 years later. Yeah, everybody used to troll on YouTube back then. Did they now? Let's archive those chats. Let's archive those chat transcripts. But yeah, man, you know, and you're right, Justine. Everybody doing it makes it worse because it's like, so you made sure that you didn't stand out amongst the crowd. You just went along with all of that. That's what you chose to do. You're not going to make it very long in this chat like that. Not jumper. Like you're not, you know, like nobody's impressed with that. I'm going to give you one more comment and then nobody's going to see any of your comments. Nobody's going to see any of them. You know, it'll be just like something that we thought we saw. Sort of like a Halley's Comet or a meteor. Like I thought I saw something, a shooting star. You know, very rarely do you get a shooting star on video. You can tell people you saw it, but you can't make them see it again. So, yeah, I'm just letting you know. Because I know how it goes around here. I know how it goes around here. So it's all good. It's all good. Everybody was doing it at the time. So let's break this down. Let's break it down decade by decade. How far can we go back? Let's go back to the 60s. There are a lot of things we can talk about that people who were alive and well and thriving and maybe coming up at that time were doing. So in the 60s, what if somebody told you that everybody was involved in the civil rights movement back in the 60s? What would you say? What would you say? Because sometimes history has us believing that. Like everybody was involved everybody marched with Dr. King. Everybody was down with Malcolm X. Huh? Civil rights movement, human rights movement. What's going on, Prince of Darkness? What's going on, man? Good to see you. Good to see you. But yeah, what would you say? Justine says, I would say that was never a movement. Interesting. Interesting. You would say that civil rights movement was never a movement? Well, those videos that I've seen and history tells me otherwise. But just because there may have been thousands of people, maybe even millions of people involved in the civil rights movement, it doesn't mean that everybody was doing it. And it doesn't mean that everybody was concerned about it or gives a shit about it. There are people right now who that don't know what the war in Iran is about, nor do they give a shit. Now, years later, when they're talking to their children may ask them, well, like when the war in Iran was going on, like, what were your feelings on it back then? What war? I wasn't into that stuff. I was too busy getting high. It says, Justine, I personally disagree because of modern laws. Discrimination is a crime. Oh, okay. You're looking at it from that angle. Rusty Shackelford says, I was absolutely a movement. It's just unfortunate you squandered it. Oh, you mean it was definitely a movement? Yeah, I mean, I don't think that there's any way to deny that it was a movement. It may not have been a movement that everybody appreciated or participated in. You said, my son wouldn't ask me shit because we see what's in front of us. Okay. Well, there are other things that may have been going on in the 60s that we can talk about, that people who were doing their thing in the 60s may have said things like, well, everybody was doing it. Like rock music, heavy guitar rock music, or Motown, soul, or whatever. You know, they may say that, yeah, everybody was rocking out at the time. Everybody was into the psychedelic. Were they? Everybody listened to the Beatles. Popular group. They were the highest selling at the time, right? The Beatles. Hot as fish grease in the 60s. Was everybody into the Beatles? Were the Beatles everybody's favorite group? Did everybody listen to the Beatles? When you go through your parents' or your grandparents' old record collection, do you see Beatles albums in there? If they bought albums, 45s, whatever, do you see Beatles? That's how I kind of gauge it. You know, when I talk about the civil rights struggle, I don't have members in my family that have said that they marched or participated in the civil rights struggle or that they were active in it. So what were they doing? Because they definitely benefited from some of the things that came out of it. The spider on my wall, really? Wow. Justine is just a contrarian. I've never heard one Beatles song. Okay, cool. All right, you know what? I'm going to just let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Let it be. She's never heard one Beatles song. Let it be. Maybe telling the truth. She may be telling the truth. So, Okay. Hey, listen. Okay. So, like I said, it could have been the Motown sound. It could have been Stax. It could have been there was a lot of psychedelic or like people were dropping acid and stuff like that back in the 60s. Getting high off of that kind of stuff. And I'm sure people who were getting high off of that stuff they probably felt like everybody was doing that. Everybody was doing that. It was all bell bottom pants, hip huggers, bell bottom pants, and drugs. And if that's what the people in your circle, the people in your circumference, the people within your field of vision are doing, yeah, you may feel like that's what everybody was doing. Even if you know that probably wasn't the best thing to do at the time. Even if you know that wasn't the best thing to do at the time. You may still give that type of reasoning or explanation for that back in the day. So, yeah, what are some other things in the 60s that may have been going on? Okay, arguably, you could say that Jim Crow ended in the 60s. If you're from the South and you were less evolved than you may have become, because some people stayed in that space. But you may say, as far as Jim Crow is concerned, everybody believed in Jim Crow. That was just the way it was in the South. Everybody believed that it was all right, that it was right. And if you are a white Southerner, Dixiecrat type of thing, you may have believed that was the right way to believe, or the right thing to the right way to conduct yourself, or you may believe that the way that things were happening in the South was the best way, or that way of thinking. That's what you may have believed. So, because your peers or whatever may have been into that, you may have thought like, yeah, segregation was a good thing. Voter suppression or limiting or eliminating voters' rights for all people, that was a good thing. That's the way everybody believed, right? Right. When you join a church or club or organization or something like that, and you get really deep into it, it's easy to believe that everybody is thinking that way, and that's the way to be. It's not until you get away from those situations and you start to think differently, learn differently, evolve in a different direction. That's when you look at things differently. Let's take it to the 70s. Disco and disco music and the discotheque. Dancing, partying in the discotheque. Studio 54 type of thing. Was everybody into that? Drive-in movies. Very prevalent in the 70s. Was everybody into that? Funk music. Heavy in the 70s. Was everybody into that? Leisure suits. Platform shoes. Was everybody into those things going on in the 70s? Alternative. What's that? There was a lot of good music in the 70s. Not just disco, not just funk. You also had like a lot of soft rock, alternative rock, things like that. Like ABBA, Linda Ronstadt, artists like that. Jeff, we staying on topic tonight. You ain't got to worry. We staying on topic tonight. They can do whatever they want to do. So this is fucking bullshit. Pastor, oh man, good music, soft rap. What the fuck are you talking about? Never mind. As a matter of fact, don't answer that. Just do whatever you want to do. Jeff, you think that the 70s had the best music? Interesting. I know they had some good music in the 70s. I don't know if they had the best. But there's an argument for it. All right, Ryan, bye. The fuck out of here. Okay, all right. Let me help you out. Let me help you. I helped. So yeah. What else was going on in the 70s? The 70s pretty much started the slasher flicks with like Halloween pretty much started the slasher films. You had Halloween, then you had Friday the 13th. And, you know, that kicked off a decade's worth of slasher films going into the 80s. But was everybody watching those types of movies? Star Wars. Movies like that. Damien, Omen, the Omen series. Jeff said, haters out tonight. They out every night, man. They just don't always stop by. Listen to this dumbass. There you go, Selena. That's what I'm talking about. Brothers Johnson, the Blue Notes, Confunction. That's what I'm talking about. Good music. Excellent music. Terrific. Great. Rajim. Excuse me, boss. Can I ask you a question? Sure. Ask the question. That's a lot of setup. You could have just asked the question. My experience when somebody sets up that much and that long, it ain't going to go well. Okay. Barcades, without a doubt. Funk bands in the 80s, in the 70s was off the charts. But was everybody listening to that? I mean, it's easy to think that everybody was listening to disco. But was everybody listening to disco? Was everybody into that? Remember, rock music killed disco. They literally went toe to toe with disco to get it up out of there. Rock music is a hater. They hated on disco and got it on up out of there. That's the craziest shit. They actually get credited for ending disco. I'm like, It's a little hard to dance to rock music, depending on what you call it, what kind of dancing you want to do. My man, Ninth Gate Stories, what's good? Says my neighbors were swingers in the 70s. My dad told me about getting invited to a gathering, quote unquote, at their house and finding out what was going on when people started disrobing. He claims hey, that's his story. He's sticking to it. That's where we are with it. All right. Hold on, y'all. We have a guest coming through. Oh, well, we had one. What happened to my man? My man, Keith. If you're listening and you wanted to get on, call me back. Wait a minute. Okay. Yeah, just hit me back. We good. All right. Just Jackson 5, Stevie Wonder, Earth, Wind, and Fire. what makes a good man and a good woman, respectfully? Well, good and bad is from a certain perspective. So what might be good for me might not be good for you. Like my idea of a good woman is a woman that I can talk to, someone who is supportive, someone who is beautiful, someone who is smart, someone who is creative, innovative. All right, let's see. All right, caller with the last number is 9094. Welcome to the Daily Go Getimism Show. What's on your mind tonight?
Yo, what's good? What's good? Yo, it's Rajan. What's Rajan? I was trying to talk about dating and dynamics.
Say it again.
I was trying to talk about dating and dynamics.
Well, we're not talking about that tonight. But
what's the word on the conversation tonight?
You know what the conversation was. You was just in the chat. But what did you want to ask? What did you want to ask about?
Yeah, no, I just wanted to ask what makes a good man and what makes a good woman.
All right, but you heard me talking about that. All right, so
no, I didn't.
Oh,
I must be lagging.
Okay, so like I said, what's a good man or a good woman is from a personal perspective. So like a good woman to you might not be a good woman for me. Like a good woman for me may be a woman who's smart, who's beautiful, who is creative, who is supportive, who allows me to lead without being overbearing, who also comes up with good ideas. That she may be a good family woman, good with children, good with elders, good with neighbors, good on a job. That might be a good woman to me. A good woman to you might just be somebody, you know what I mean? It might be a baddie, quote unquote, just a baddie.
LOL.
Yeah, you know, so I can't say what's a good woman for any other man or woman, you know, nowadays. I can only say what's a good woman for me. But all of those things are more cosmetic. You know, those are biological things. The chemistry of a woman that's going to be good for me is going to be a woman that makes me feel something inside that other women might not be able to do. So I'm going to feel it inside. You know what I mean? Whereas the next man might be able to walk by that woman or, you know, not be able to put up with her proverbial shit.
Fair enough.
So I hope I've helped.
Yeah, no, I can't get mad at that at all. But what about a man, though?
What makes a good man? Well,
yeah,
I think a good man is a man who's responsible, a man who sets boundaries and sets expectations and follows up and does what he says he's going to do. If he makes promises, he delivers on promises. You know, a man who is protective, sets a decent example for children to follow. Somebody who is serious and has a good sense and has a good sense of humor, probably, you know, friendly, yet maybe a little, you know, maybe threatening to the point where, you know, he's nothing to mess with, but at the same time, not somebody who people would avoid, you know, interacting with. But fair enough. There's a lot to that too.
Okay, but yeah. Now I was just wondering because I was telling one of my young boys, he was trying to go on a date. I said, "Bro, don't ever pay for the first date." My girl looked at me crazy, and I'm like, "What are you talking about? You think I paid for the first date?" She even realized I never did, and I was just like, "Huh." Damn, I just started thinking about it, like, "Huh," you know?
Why wouldn't you pay for the first date?
I mean, I wouldn't. I mean, I think men and women are equal, so I wouldn't, you know, I'm not going to do that. That's crazy.
Well, how are men and women equal?
I mean, I live in America, so, like, you know, we get paid the same. We equal in terms of, you know, capacity, responsibility, you know. Amen, you know.
You don't get paid. Men and women don't get paid the same in America?
Nah, they 100% do.
No, they 100% don't.
What do you mean by that? I mean, so if you have the same job, same experience, you get paid the same.
Overall, men, even on the same job, get paid more. That's one of the reasons why
That's false. That's false
it's
information.
not
That's not
false.
true.
It's not false. And this is one of the reasons why employers try to tell all employees not to discuss their salary. Now, if you work in a union job, yeah, everybody has to get paid the same and it's all verifiable. But in a free market, you can pay how you want to pay. Like, for example, when you go to apply for a job, they can pay you based on your experience. Now, what does that mean? Experience, you may have only 2 years of experience, but they think that your experience is good enough and useful enough to them to pay you the top salary in that range, where a woman may come through and she may have 10 years of experience, but they may only feel like she's useful enough to pay her within the middle range. And that's totally legal.
What specific jobs are you talking about? Because I don't think I'm familiar with the jobs that's even possible. But even based on what you're saying, that's just negotiation. Like, there's an acceptable range, and then there's a range that you can negotiate for. So if they don't want to give it to you, you could say, I'm not going to take it.
Right.
Like,
but that doesn't make you on equal footing with a woman, because the two of you may work on the same pay grade, but you get paid more than her. Because there's a salary.
What are you talking about, though?
Any job.
Like,
any job in the free market.
Give me an example.
Nursing.
So nursing. Nah, that's not true nursing. Nah, that's definitely not true nursing. That's not true.
So every nurse gets paid the same thing?
So if you have the same characteristics, like on paper you're the same, but one is a man and one is a woman, they're gonna get paid the same. In nursing specifically, men usually get promoted faster because of diversity and inclusion, but that's specific to nursing.
They do not get paid the same in nursing. I
mean, I work in the medical field. That's why I know. Like, they definitely do get paid the same.
And I work in healthcare, and that's why I know.
I mean, I don't think you have like the depth of information that I have, to be honest. Like, I'm not even trying to say anything, but you know.
Listen,
I'm just saying. I mean, what hospitals are you talking about that this happens? Because that's just not a thing.
So negotiating your salary is not a thing in nursing?
No, you can negotiate your salary, but if a woman negotiates her salary and she doesn't get a higher price, and a man gets a higher price, that's not about gender. That's about lack of being able to negotiate.
But it's up to the discretion of the person, of the hiring manager, to decide what the offer is going to be. So if you don't know the agenda of the hiring manager, that may favor men being paid higher than a woman, and that's what makes it unequal.
But she don't have to take that job, and it could be easy the other way around.
That's true.
But the hiring manager doesn't want men there.
That's true, but that doesn't negate the fact that men get paid more.
But it's not a fact.
Then how can wait? You agree with what I said, but then you say it's not a fact. Just because just because I didn't just make it up. What are you talking about? Wait. Hold on. How old are you?
Me, I'm 29.
I'm 56. I know more than you.
Okay.
I can guarantee you I know more than you.
Chief.
I can guarantee you I know more than you. I can guarantee whether we're talking about on an education level or a life experience level. I guarantee you that I know more than you.
I probably don't think so, honestly.
What you don't have to think it. It doesn't even matter if you. I'm not asking for your agreement. I gave you a clear-cut example where the discretion of wait a minute. I gave you a clear-cut example of where a man a man would be could or would be favored to get paid more than women in an unequal fashion in the medical industry. And you agreed that it could happen that way. But your defense is that they don't have to take the job. Of course, they don't have to take the job. They didn't have to choose the profession. But the person who decides who gets paid more may favor men being paid more. And that has happened historically, and it still happens in this country today. Now, what country are you from originally?
I'm from West Africa, Ghana. But
and I can tell you weren't from the United States. I knew you weren't from the United States. I knew it, because nobody from the U.S. would say that shit.
I mean, I was born and raised in New York, so I mean, I've never been back to my country, so I mean, either way. But what
I asked you, what country were you? What country were you born in?
No, you said where am I from? I'm from Ghana.
What country were you born in? That's what I'm asking.
I was born in America.
Then how are you from Ghana?
I mean, yeah, I'm from Ghana. Where was I born? I'm born in America. But
what, are you a Republican or something? Hold on, wait.
Okay. Well, you just want to hear yourself talk.
Wait. No. I don't want to hear myself talk. I can talk freely. I can cut you off and just keep talking for the rest of the program.
Respond to what you said.
I'm trying to get some clarity. You said that you were born and raised in America, but you said you're from Ghana. How does that work?
Correct. Genetically, I am 100% Ghanaian, West African.
So you are of Ghanaian descent. That is not being from Ghana. That is not being from. See, that's why I said I know more than you. You know what I'm saying? You think that you're smart, but you don't even have your shit together. You're not. How can you be born in America, but your parents are from Ghana, but you're from Ghana? No, you're not. No, you're not. You are of Ghanaian or Ghanaian descent. That's what you are. You are full. Okay. You are full.
I would like to respond to what you were saying.
Huh?
I would like to respond to what you said. I agree that that's a potential scenario that could go either way, but you didn't show any facts or data.
I don't have to show facts or data.
Name the hospital.
I told you that I work in healthcare. Am I making that up too?
So what exactly are you? You're like a medical assistant or something?
Don't worry about what I do. I work in healthcare, and I know exactly what I'm talking about.
But
and that's why the example that I gave you, is an example. I did so. I said with the hiring manager.
Something out of thin air.
I didn't pull it out of thin air. It's an example that anybody who go. It's an example that. Where's the data that men get paid more than women? You want data? Okay.
That's what I'm asking.
All right, yeah. No problem. I got you.
Please.
You know, because this isn't easy.
That's all I asked for. So
in the United, hold on, be quiet. No talking. I'm getting your data together. No talking. All right. In the United States, do men usually get paid more than women? Yes, men generally get paid more than women in the United States. On average, women earn 81 cents to 82 cents for every dollar earned by men. The difference is influenced by factors like occupational choices, time taken off for caregiving, and lingering workplace inequalities. I'm sorry, what does that say? And lingering workplace inequalities. But is this data good enough for you or no?
Okay, number one, I said show me data. Number two, so I know you said you work in healthcare. Are you somewhat of a scientist, or are you just like a patient care person?
I work in healthcare administration.
Oh, okay. So how familiar are you with like scientific data? And, like,
listen,
research?
How familiar are you? See, I showed you grace. You're taking me off my topic, and I showed you grace, but I've had enough. because you
I already told
just
you
want to
could
get
talk
your
about
shit
whatever the
off.
topic was, and then you wanted to go and divulge, but
I
then
did.
you want to let me talk about
I was
anything.
already talking about it before you called in, and I told you that, and
Yeah,
you said
and I said let's
you
talk
must be.
about it, and you said no, but let's answer your question. You don't
And
understand that.
I
I
answered
said
your
let,
question. But
and then I said that's
now you want
okay,
to
and
take
then
it
you want to
now you
keep
want to
on
take it
going.
further with
You just
data
want
and
to hear
all of that. And
yourself talk.
I gave you data, and now I've given you
You
enough.
didn't give me any
You
data.
you
You're
go
just
bye
talking
bye.
nonsense.
You go bye bye, sir. You go bye bye. Okay. See, everybody was doing this. See, all content creators, entertain trolls. See, he was trolling. He was trolling on the low. He wasn't your traditional troll. He took a different trolling route. Now he'll say, "Oh, he just couldn't prove what he was saying, and that's why he hung up on me." That's not true. I gave him a lot of time. Carla, what's good? My brother Tom is in the house. What's good? What's good? He said, my man is East African. And yes, I guess he's American technically, but let's be real. Listen, your parents can be born wherever they were born. You're from wherever you were born. That's where you're from. Even if even if you're from the United States and you were born, let's say you were born overseas somewhere, and let's say you only spent your childhood years over there. Maybe you came back to the United States when you were like 2. Let's say your parents were in the military and you were born in Germany. Your dad or your mom was stationed in Germany, and you were born in Germany, but your parents are American, and they didn't bring you back to the United States where you grew up until you were like 2 or 3 years old. Yeah, you're from Germany, but you are definitely an American because you spent the majority of your years in America, and your parents are of American descent. But you were born where you were born, so you were from where you were from. I don't know. It's like the Tupac effect. He wanted to be born. He wanted to be from the West Coast, but he was born in Harlem, New York. 13 years of his life was spent in Harlem, New York. Four years of his life spent in Baltimore. That's 17 years. He died at age 25, and he died singing California Love. Like, you're not from California, sir. You're not from California. So, but it's all good. All right. Just because the computer says it doesn't make it right. Justine, you just want to be a contrarian, and that's okay. Do your thing. Do your thing. You know what I mean? Just because the computer said it. You're right. That's not data. He asked for data, right? And that's data. Okay. All right. But if I don't like the data, then it's not data. I get it. I get it. I was trolling. How can I troll my own show? All right. So we were talking about everybody was doing it, and we left talking about the 70s. So there were certain trends going on in the 70s that if you were around that, you may have felt like everybody was doing it. How about hula hooping? Was everybody hula hooping in the 70s? Skateboarding, you know, skateboarding, what do you call it? Extreme skateboarding, with the ramps and you know what I'm saying? Motocross, very popular in the 70s. Was everybody into motocross? BMX biking in the 70s. Was everybody doing that? Everybody. When you are around certain people who are doing certain things and you're doing it too, you may feel like everybody was doing that. But in all reality, of course, everybody wasn't doing it. Everybody wasn't into that. That's just the reality of it. But there may have been thousands, there may have been millions of people into that sort of thing. And it's all good. So what else was going on in the 70s? Yo-yos. Yo-yos, the Duncan yo-yo and tops, craxies. Craxies. Was everybody doing it? All my friends were. But does that mean everybody was doing it? Comic books, very popular. Very popular in the 70s. Saturday morning cartoons. Did all kids watch Saturday morning cartoons? Now, it would be easy to say, yeah, everybody watched Saturday morning cartoons. I had some friends that were Jehovah's Witnesses, though. They were not watching Saturday morning cartoons on Saturdays. They were out doing field service on Saturdays, knocking on doors and trying to fellowship new members to the Kingdom Hall of Jehovah's Witnesses. So, like I said, it's easy. Nah, man, you're not getting no more time, dog. You're not. I'm sorry. You're not getting no more time, sir. See, now this proves that he's trolling. You know what I'm saying? You're not getting no more time, You're not getting no more time, my G. It's over for you. That's no other show would you have called in and got that much time. You got a hell of a lot of time, but it's over. All right. Oh God, get this dickhead out of here. Just for that comment, you go bye-bye. You go bye-bye. I'm saying bye-bye. Don't go. Queen Monica. Hula hoops. Kabangers. Is that what y'all call it? The clackers? Kabangers. Okay. Kabangers, jump rope, skating, jacks. Was everybody doing that? Everybody around my way was. Except for the Jehovah's Witness kids. They had to wear a suit on Saturday. They didn't get to just come out and play on the weekends. I used to be like, where my man going? You know, he'd be dressed up he had on a suit, the tie. He had the briefcase. Yeah, you know, I got a little older. I understood, like, oh, y'all got to go recruit on Saturdays. All right. Oh, you just wanted to call back to say no hate? No, you can do that right there you can do that right there in the chat. It's no hate. I ain't mad at you. I'm just not gonna let you take over my program, sir. That's all. That's all. You got your time. You got good time. You should be proud of yourself. All right, Ninth Gate says Tupperware parties were huge in the 70s. My mom sold that shit. People still save green stamps and Charles Chips. Oh shit. Charles Chips delivered to your house was still a minor flex. That was not a minor flex. Them Charles Chips was looked at like they was bigger than Pringles. And you know you didn't get Pringles all the time. The Pringles was like, yo, you got some Pringles? You got some Pringles? You got Pringles? You got Pringles? They didn't sell Pringles in the corner stores. You know, you had some Pringles. You got some Pringles. You got Pringles. We only got Pringles when we went on a road trip. My brother Tom says, you could not mess with my wrestling on Saturday. I gave everything to the Lord on WWF wrestling, baby. Yeah, that was my shit. I got introduced to wrestling at age 8. I was like, yo, this is really dope. This shit is, yeah. That was when Bob Backlund was still the champ. All right, Carlos says those click clacks, jacks, hopscotch, no doubt. Okay. So yeah, there were a lot of things that were happening in the 70s. Oh, how about this? Afros. Big in the 70s, right? Did everybody have an afro? Did everybody have an afro in the 70s? Huh? I don't think so. But a lot of people had afros in the 70s. A lot of black people had afros in the 70s, for sure. Okay. 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 All right, let's go to the 80s. Let's go to the 80s. A lot of trends in the 80s we could point to that maybe everybody was doing at the time. A lot of trends in the 80s that we could point to that we could say that everybody was doing. I mean, we would be wrong, but there were thousands, there were millions of people who were doing it. In the 80s, let's start off and okay. So one of the things that was real popular in the 80s that hold on, you know what? Let me I'm about to go to cars, but I would be remiss if I didn't mention how the van was so popular. The customized van was so popular in the 70s. But did everybody have a van? And everybody who had a van, did they have it customized? Did they have a water bed in there? Did they have a sink installed in there? Did they have a disco ball in there and rugs on the walls? Was everybody's van that badass van? A lot of yearbook pictures had them. Okay. Queen Monica say a lot of yearbook pictures did have afros in them. They did. You're right. They did, but not all of them. Not all of them. Not all of them. But yeah, you're right. A lot of them did. That's a good point. That's a good point. Let me see. Tom says, son, yes. And don't forget Mom Dukes used to have a party for everything, even Mary Kay, the encyclopedia books, every color from maroon to maroon gold one. Maroon. Oh my God, the maroon covers the gold pages. Oh my God. Now you get in the 70s, big collars on shirts. Yep. Big lapels on sports jackets and gold medallions with a shape of your zodiac sign. Also the super wide belts. With the super wide belts with the big ass. Sometimes they had the two or three buckle. Not the buckle had three. Whatever the thing is, the thing that you put, the thing that goes in the belt loop hole, in the belt hole, the hole. Sometimes you had the two because the belt was so wide, it had the two, whatever you call that. All right, so let's go to the 80s. Let's go to the 80s. Did everybody who had a car have a system in the car? Did everybody have an Alpine system? Did everybody have a when hip hop came through, did everybody have a kitted up Volvo or Maxima or a Benz 190, Audi, BMW? Did everybody have a spoiler kit on them? Did all of them? No. Did everybody have a pull-out system or a system that somebody would break your window and take your car system, car radio? Everybody didn't have that. A whole lot of people had it though. And one thing that came out in the 80s that was really, really popular were car clubs. Car clubs, motorcycle clubs. And I don't mean, the traditional motorcycle clubs, like, with the leather jackets. I'm talking about like car clubs where everybody would have like maybe like a Chevy or Oldsmobile or something like that. It was popular in my city. Tinted windows, shit written in the back, in the rear window and shit like that. Them trunks be bumping. 16-inch woofer boxes. You know what I mean? This shit, you have a whole party outside of the car, with just the car. The DJ setup was the trunk. Let me see. Son, please don't forget the mothers that used to set up dates to go to Woolworths. You and that Woolworths, you be killing me. Carla says, I was definitely a van passenger. Them vans in the 70s was the shit. And I was salty. I was salty when vans didn't make it to the 80s. Like, what did the van do to get put out? My brother, my mellow, my man, what's going on?
What's going on, good brother?
Everything is good. Everything is good. Hold on a second. Let me see. Time says I remember my pops friends pulling up in Trans Ams and Corvettes, Z28s. I have the pictures to prove it. Man, I would have believed you anyway. I would have believed you anyway. The one them cow try.
What's going on? This is Troy with the calling it to Omar with the.
Can you repeat Troy with the what? Oh, Troy with the. Oh.
Did everybody have a passion for fashion or craving for savings? Did everybody take the wheel to the automobile and head on down the ideal?
It was swing on down too.
That too.
Yeah. You had to swing on down too. You know what I mean? Like we had vines in the streets.
Yeah, swing on down the ideal.
You know what I mean? Tarzan your way down there.
Well, the part is, Ideal wasn't even in Philadelphia.
It wasn't no Ideal in Philadelphia. It wasn't. They've been putting shit outside of our reach for a long time.
Real,
All right, so we up to the 80s now. So we talking about everybody was doing it at the time and how your perspective can be that everybody was doing something because the people in your immediate circle was doing it. You know what I mean? Like I've heard you talk about some things when we've done shows, previously, like going to clubs in the 80s. You know what I'm saying? A lot of places downtown and shit like that. The whole dance scene, like it did seem like everybody was doing that. But were they? Were they though? Were they? You know what I'm saying?
From my knowledge and from what I've seen, everybody was doing it.
Well, see, the thing about it is there are so many things that everybody was doing. But when you look at certain things, like I've known people that sniff coke and they'll tell you everybody was sniffing coke back then. And I'm like, I was back then.
I was back then too.
I ain't never put none of this shit.
But
I ain't never do no shit like that.
See, when they say everybody, they have to be talking about adults. You know what I mean? Because we were the age of everybody.
All adults didn't do that shit. It don't matter. It don't matter what age frame he talking about. Everybody wasn't doing that shit.
Everybody back then was smoking weed.
No, they wasn't.
Everybody I knew was.
So you see what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
It wasn't in my circle. It wasn't in my circle, but I just seen everybody smoking it.
But you wasn't. You weren't even smoking it.
No, I wasn't.
So you knew plenty of people who didn't smoke it.
No, I knew plenty of people that wasn't a part of a circle that was in my family or I seen on the street or people I knew that smoked it.
Right. But my point is, when I hear people say, a lot of times when people have done some fuck shit, they'll say that everybody was doing it at the time.
Yeah.
Whether it's drugs, whether it's some old crazy sexual shit, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Everybody was wife swapping at the time. Like, what kind of everybody's you around, nigga? Everybody was wife swapping?
Come on, swinging. Oh God, man.
I mean, I've heard people say this kind of shit, and
Everybody was watching. Everybody in the '80s. Everybody was watching pornos.
I've uh, I may not have heard everybody say that because it was so taboo back in the day. You know what I mean? You had to have them tapes. But when you are around, one thing about really being deep into something, like even if you say, even if you talk about hip hop, let's say if you was rapping, scratching, DJing it, beatboxing, whatever, back in the day, you around that shit so much, going to competitions. They used to have trophies for DJing, or crews used to battle. So if you were in that, really, really deep in that as a young boy, you did look at it like everybody used to go to those parties. Like you could look at it like everybody used to go to house parties. We used to have house parties every weekend, and there were house parties every weekend, but everybody you knew wasn't at them.
No.
There might have been times you couldn't even go. Like mom said, "Nah, you ain't going nowhere this night." So that scene was what it was for the people who was there, but it wasn't everybody. It existed, but everybody didn't participate. Earlier in the show, I was talking about the civil rights movement in the 60s. Like, I think it has always intrigued me how we talk about the civil rights movement, and nobody in my family has ever said that they participated in it. They didn't march. They didn't protest. They weren't involved in that shit.
Mm-hmm.
They were definitely alive, adults and all of that shit. How did it get by them? It got by a lot of people. Everybody wasn't into that. Just like today, everybody won't be into certain things. And years later, decades later, when the story is told, it'd be like, kids would be like, yeah, back in the 20s, because this will be their 20s, right? Right. They'll be like, back in the 20s, everybody was into MAGA. MAGA was the thing. We'd be like, the fuck what? MAGA was the I mean, really, there's gonna be people who said that shit. Back in the 20s, MAGA, it was all about MAGA. Like, ain't there some shit? There will be a strong case for that, but there are going to be plenty of people that are like, no, the fuck, nobody wasn't into that shit. Yeah, but 70 million people voted for him, and I'm like, so we're gonna have to eat that history because it exists. It exists. All right. So since we in the 80s, did everybody wear gazelles?
No. Shit, everybody couldn't afford gazelles for real.
I didn't even think they were nice. I thought they was the ugliest glass. I was like, these cost a lot. Why? They weren't very stylish when you really look at like. They did later on come out with stylish looking gazelles, but the original ones, I'm like, this is what people getting beat up for?
Still for.
That shit was amazing to me.
Yeah.
I had heard about gazelles before I actually saw them. When I actually saw them, I was like, you kidding, right? Because we had bona fide fly shit. Like, when you go from the name belt that was undisputedly fly, like, yo, this is some fly shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. Then you go to gazelle, like, gazelles. Like, I don't even wear glasses. So wait. I don't even have an eye problem. And I'm supposed to wear these shits because I look better with this? I guess with gazelles, you kind of had to have a gold chain. Because that kind of set it off. But
you wanted to be like DMC when he had his shit on.
To this day, I don't think that the original Gazelles was fly. I understood the impact that they had, but everybody wasn't into that. You know what I mean?
You know, Gazelles were better than Porsche design on Alpinas.
They was not better than Porsche designs or Alpinas.
No, they was not.
Alpinas was some fly ass glasses, and so was Mega Designs, and so was Mega Designs.
Mega Designs too, yup.
Yeah,
I had them too.
Porsche Designs was fly too. They actually looked stylish. I didn't get the whole Gazelle thing. I just didn't get it. But yeah, pair of Zells, man. I mean, got my Zells. But let me see. What else? Did everybody have a high top fade, or should I say a high taper or a block? Did everybody have a block haircut back in the 80s? A whole lot of people did.
Yeah, I did at one point.
I mean, I kept mine. I from 80, 85. That's when I got my block in 85. And yeah, up until like about 90. I mean, I rounded my shit off. It wasn't a block by the time like 80, 87, 88 hit. But it was a block before then. Shit kept my shit fly. So yeah, Jerry curls. Everybody had no damn Jerry curl in the 80s.
I wasn't fucking with no damn Jerry curl.
I'm just saying. A lot of people did. A lot of people did.
Everybody.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta say it differently too. Not everybody. You know, you don't say everybody. Say everybody.
I say everybody. But yeah, it was a popular thing. It was very popular haircut. Did everybody wear two tones or lees?
Did everybody sell drugs?
Exactly. Now, people who sold drugs will tell you, yeah, everybody was doing that shit. We was all getting money. For the ones who survived, they can say that shit.
Yeah.
The ones who didn't survive died saying it.
Yeah. We was all getting pop, 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 pop. Money.
I mean, look at how we glorify JBM.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They had a fucking 5-year run tops. I really think it was more like 4 years. Well, we'll say 5. From 85, by the time 90 hit, it was a wrap. Because they died in 89. That 89, that's when they was on the cover of the Daily News. It was over.
Yeah.
So, like, wasn't no long time. A very, very, very short run, but a lot of power.
It was a short run that had remnants, still had remnants out there. Wasn't the short run left branches out there. You know what I mean?
Okay, so compare the JBM of the 80s to the Black Mafia of the 70s. Who's more powerful?
There is no comparison. There is no comparison because the Black Mafia from the 70s had a longer. Number one, it had a longer run.
It definitely had a long run. Yeah,
they had a longer run. Number two, they were more. They not so much infiltrated, but they integrated themselves into the Muslim religion, into the mosque.
They literally started off that way.
Yes, you understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And they were more calculated. I mean, they were the originals, get down or get laid down, or don't fuck my money up, or this is going to happen. Most definitely. And they will travel. They will travel about their money. If they know you was in Atlantic City and you owed them money, they would travel to Atlantic City. They would travel to DC. They would travel to other places to make sure they left their statement. They left a statement of, you don't get my money. You ain't got my money. Bye. I'm saying
they were extremely lethal.
Yes, that's the word.
They were extremely lethal.
I mean, you heard about the family.
But the thing is, they worked closely with the Italian mob. That was the biggest difference between JBM and the Black Mafia. So that distinction is an important separation when you start thinking about the history of both. I actually respected the JBM more because they didn't do that. It was literally their own thing. You know, they didn't need to co-sign or collaborate with the Italians. I didn't like the way the Italians was always acting like they wasn't into drugs. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. That's the fuck they was. They've always been. You know what I'm saying? Going all the way back to alcohol. But yeah, every time you see a movie, you're like, oh no, no drugs, no drugs. If the boss found out that we were doing drugs, we were going to be in trouble. Like, what the glorification of that shit just irks the shit out of me. Really.
Yeah, the thing about it is that the city didn't know much about the Black Mafia until the bodies start coming up.
Well, that's a way. That's a good way to get known.
Yeah, when the bodies start popping up and they start and Daily News start writing on them. You know, it was shit. Matter of fact, I met one of the first writers from the Daily News that used to write on them. Matter of fact, he did a when I used to live in West Philly, one of the first writers in the Daily News that used to write about the Black Mafia did a write up on me when I lived in West Philadelphia about my comedy career.
Mm.
So when I met him, he was showing me footage of the pictures and everything that he did for the Daily News and for the Enquirer, especially the Daily News or the Black Mafia Incorporated.
Okay.
So, well, yeah, so I mean, it was a lot. I mean, when you bring, but the part that you said is right. It's right, but at the end of the day, the lethal part, man.
I mean, they did a lot to tarnish the image of Orthodox Muslims and the FOI. So you know, it's just crazy. But getting back into the 80s, there were a lot of things you could say that everybody was doing. Like, was everybody into pop music?
No,
they weren't. But it's hard to prove that they weren't. When you see, when you talk, because it seemed like all of the most notable superstars were what? Pop singers.
Right. From
Michael Jackson on down to spreading out to everybody else. The Madonnas, the Whitney Houstons, the George Whams, George Michaels, Terrence, Cyndi Lauper, the Huey Lewis in the News, Men at Work, whatever. Everything was pop music, pop. But if you was black, there's a good chance that you weren't into that shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? There was a clear separation between R&B and pop. And some people knew, some people were so, steeped and invested in R&B that they didn't mess around with the pop. They knew a little bit of it, but that really wasn't their thing.
Shit, when we was growing up, you better just knew R&B.
Now,
some of us, your friends didn't know nothing about Pat Benatar or who else? Pat Benatar or shit, Elton John or fucking Culture Club, Billy Joel, and all these other, you know what I mean? Jay Giles band. They didn't know nothing about that.
They didn't. They didn't. They didn't always know about that. But a harder question is probably like, what about music videos? Did everybody watch music videos?
Well, that's another thing. Yep. Everybody couldn't watch music videos if you didn't have cable.
No, because they had Video Rock, and that came on regular TV.
Yeah, but that came out years after MTV came out. That came out, yeah, and you had to stay up late to see Video Rock.
No, Video Rock came on in the morning, and it was you think about Friday night videos. Video Rock came on in the morning, and it was because I used to watch it in '83 before I went to school. So I would watch Video Rock. First, I would watch Fraggle Rock, then Video Rock, then take my ass to school. So now it seemed to me like everybody watched videos, but I can't account for everybody. It was definitely the thing. Just like watching movies on. Did everybody have a VCR? It seemed like it, but I know damn well everybody didn't have a VCR. It was a luxury item.
Did everybody have a microwave?
It seemed like it.
Yeah.
But no, everybody didn't have a microwave. I know that for a fact. That was also a luxury item.
Yeah.
And plus, some people were up on the whole radiation thing, and they wouldn't. I knew people who wouldn't use it back then, and they won't use it now, and I can't blame them.
Mm-hmm.
But when you need a slice of pizza heated up real quick, I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Fuck that radiation.
I'm just saying. Like you ain't gonna get me on cancer with just this one. But yeah. I mean, there were so many trends in the 80s that you could point to, leather bombers, leather trench coats, the triple fat goose jackets. So Mickey Mouse, acid wash jeans, Guess. Everybody didn't have these things. Everybody wasn't doing it. But if you were around people whose values were pretty much in line with that kind of stuff, yeah, it's going to seem like everybody was doing it.
Was everybody drinking pink champagne?
Oh, in high school, I didn't drink at all. So, no. But I think pink champagne tasted pretty good. Shout out to White Mountain Cooler.
White Mountain Cooler, damn. Damn.
Came in a 40 ounce.
Damn.
Came in a 40 ounce.
I got one for you. Was everybody drinking Low and Brown?
Weekends were made for Low and Brown.
Here's the good friends. Tonight is kind of special. Beer will flow. So tonight will go so high. So tonight, let it be Low and Brown.
Let it be. Weekends were made for Low and Brown. Yeah, I used to like Molson Golden.
Damn.
Green bottle. Green Molson Golden. All right.
Was everybody, shit, tell me, I'm going to ask this one. Was everybody drinking Thunderbird? What's the action? Satisfaction? That's the word.
But that didn't come out in the 80s. Thunderbird, Wild Irish Road, all of that shit came out in the 50s and 60s.
Shit.
So
shit, Mad Dog 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, it stood the test of time. But that we was borrowing those trends.
That's the truth, man.
My stomach is still pissed off at me about that shit. The purple Mad Dog 2020. Did you know that the MD don't stand for Mad Dog?
What it stand for?
God, it's the actual name on the damn bottle that nobody ever noticed. What does the MD and MD 2020 mean? Mogan David. The MD stands for Mogan David, the name of the kosher wine producer that created the brand. It is often affectionately and widely known by its nickname, Mad Dog 2020. Originally indicated that the fortified wine had 20% alcohol by volume and was sold in a 20-ounce bottle. 20% alcohol, 20-ounce. I'll be a we didn't have the internet back then.
We've been bamboozled.
We didn't have it.
See how we just find shit out right now. All of a sudden, 2020 MD, the MD on the damn bottle didn't mean Mad Dog.
Huh?
I was 56 years old today when I found this shit out.
I'm telling you, fucking Google is a bitch, boy. I would have never known. Something told me that the MD didn't stand for Mad Dog, because something told me that they would have just wrote that out. But I couldn't have told you anything about it being, for Mogan David. But it says it on the bottle. I'm like, so you mean to tell me all them bottles of that shit I drunk and I never looked around like Mogan David? But I was probably so drunk, I probably wouldn't even put those initials together. Mogan David.
What is it called again?
Mogan David. Mogen David.
Excuse me. Can you go to hey hon? Can you give me some Mogan David 2020?
Yes. You know what I mean?
Right.
The 20% alcohol in the 20-ounce bottle, please.
So when you go to the damn wine and spirit, was everybody calling it a state store back in the day? I was not calling it a wine and spirit.
Well, only in Pennsylvania was it called a state store. So
look, it takes me out, right? Because now when you go there, you're gonna ask them that question. Do y'all have any Mogan David?
I wonder if they know.
I'm gonna ask them.
I mean, they should know, but I don't think it's guaranteed.
I'm gonna go there and ask this person, do y'all sell Mogan David 2020? I just want to see what they say.
Oh, man.
I want to see what they say.
Wait. Knife Gate story. Hold on. Knife Gate story says, did everybody, all males, did they try to talk to teenage mothers because obviously they were quote unquote active, or was it just me? I mean, how was she going to say no? She sure couldn't kick it like it was her first time. What's going on, Miss Grim Ripper? But yeah, man, he talking about some. I made him like this because I'm way older than him. Oh, I can't, man.
Everybody, I just want to know that every black kid call 777-9311. I would tell you I did.
No area code. No, I called 8675309. That's what I called. But okay. All right. So what else? What else in the 80s? What else in the 80s? Let me see. We got VCRs, videos, pop music. I don't know. Beat it jacket, Thriller jackets.
Everybody wear starter jackets.
Did everybody wear starter jackets? That's a good one. Starter jackets. Starter jackets were undisputedly fly.
Yeah.
That was a good idea. You know what I mean? They got it right. Every jacket that Starter pretty much came out with They made good looking shit. When they got bought out, I was like, oh man. Talk about the end of an era. You know what I mean?
Everybody wear the jean rhinestone jacket.
The what?
The jean jacket with the rhinestones.
Oh no. Oh, you had to be rich for that.
That was a luxury. That was a luxury product right there.
Damn, Mariah Jenkins, what's going on, ma? It has been a while. You know what I'm saying? I thought you faded to black. I'm glad to see you. That's my word. But what about those members only jackets?
Oh shit! Didn't they come from the 70s?
Nah, that was absolutely an 80s thing.
I thought that was 70s trickling from Jack Tripper to the 80s. To the early 80s. I don't know. Yeah, but you're right. I can live with that.
And it's funny because there was another name for members only jackets. Members only was actually a brand name, but that style of jacket had another name to it. Let me see. What was the official name of the style of jacket that was members only? The official name of the iconic jacket style made famous by the brand is Iconic Racer Jacket, or simpler Racer Jacket. So it was defined by its slim waist length cut, knitted ribbing, narrow shoulder, EPAU, epaulets, and a signature throat latch on the collar. Members only. We just started calling them members only jacket, but they were called the Iconic Racer Jacket or Racer Jacket. Who knew? Members only jacket.
Did everybody wear everybody wear tags on the bottom of their sneaks?
You really grabbing at straws, man. You really grabbing. Did everybody sew in their crease? You know what I'm saying?
Wait. Did everybody saw an alligator on their shirt like Biggie did?
Okay. All right, let's get to the 90s. Let's see. In the 90s. Did everybody wear printed rayon shirts?
Oh shit.
African beads. What else?
Malcolm X hat.
There's no way I would wear that.
Did everybody have a pager?
Definitely everybody didn't have that. But what else in the 90s? The 90s had a lot of shit, cross colors. Damn, what y'all doing, 90s? Because there was a lot of fly gear in the 90s. Polo boots.
Yeah, did everybody put polo gear? Polo boots?
I'm trying to think of something in the 90s that was signature 90s.
Oh, just one more thing from the 80s. Did everybody wear Swatch watches?
Shit, I know I had 5 of them.
Mm-hmm.
No, I literally used to wear 5 of them.
At one time.
Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong.
Who would think that by not looking at you right now? Why would you tell me that as if we wouldn't think that?
I'm just saying. You know what I mean? I'm not new. But
I know you're not. You're original too. Look at you now.
I'm just saying. But yeah, I was like, Swiss made watches for $35. Mm-hmm. I remember how pissed off I was when they went up to $45. I was like, hey, Y'all pricing me out of the market.
Shit.
Damn. Knife Gate says I still
have.
have one of my Swatch watches from back then. Wow. Them shits, them motherfuckers had their second hand, that tick was loud as shit. Like, yo, you can hear the tick of a Swatch watch over sound in a room. Like, yo, what the fuck? That shit was like tick, 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 tick. Damn, Tom was, he said he was a Movado guy. Oh, you was rich.
Okay.
Yeah, he was rich. A Movado? What?
Yeah. That must be when he was riding in the DD Brown car. He always talk about transferring bricks. If he bricklayer.
If he had a Movado, after Movado, you gotta get a Rolex. There's nowhere else to go. It was Movado, Rolly.
Did everybody have a Tag Howard? A Tag Heuer?
Everybody had a fake one.
Yeah.
The ones you got off the stairs.
Was everybody buying bootleg DVDs?
Oh shit. Oh my God. We bringing people out of woodworks. Z Caparici. Oh my God. What the fuck? Tom says, I wasn't rich. I just had my father and some nice. Listen, hood rich is rich. You know what I'm saying? But there was a jacket that came out in the 80s, and if you had it, you was rich. And that was the butter leather jacket with the rabbit fur on the inside. And you could wear it. You could wear it with the fur outside or the inside. But you, like, while everybody else was wearing bombers or sheepskins, you had that jacket. It was like, oh, huh. Yeah, you was in a different stratosphere. Mm-hmm. Like your pay scale was some different shit, because that shit was 600 then.
That tax bracket was bracketed.
And we talking about 1985, 86. 600 for a jacket?
Mm-hmm.
You know, that was like 4 bombers.
Was everybody wearing an 8-ball jacket?
That's definitely 90s, and definitely no.
I hated the jackets.
It was expensive.
No, not because of the price.
No, I'm just
saying like 8-ball jackets.
Yeah, I'm just saying. You know, they was expensive. 8-ball jackets. Mm-hmm. That wasn't sweet like that. Did everybody
wear a Pelly Cook jacket?
No. Did everybody have a thick herringbone?
Oh shit! Damn.
And I don't give a fuck what nobody say, because I can speak from experience. The thick herringbone chain was the worst chain ever. That shit was so easy to break.
Yeah, because one of them links messed up. That was it.
I mean, it didn't lay right anyway. You had to have a certain kind of neck.
I had one.
Like, you had to have a certain kind of neck for the shit. You had to situate that shit like it's. Now the way it laid, it was pretty as shit.
I had that shit where I had boarded from my board room from South Philly, right? And I started working at the Clan Bar wearing that shit. Well, God damn, you would have thought I was a star, bro. You would have thought I owned part of the Clan Bar.
Oh, yeah, I'm trying to tell you, you had that thick bone. That shit was looking crazy. But Marta Rollins in the chat says if they snag too much, you ain't never lied, boy.
Yeah.
Look, I got my refund check from my last year in college. I went and bought a thick ass herringbone with my fucking refund. Like, fuck that tuition. I went and bought a stereo system, some new speakers, and a fucking thick ass herringbone, and two Carl Kanai hoodies, and three black HBCU hoodies, and pair of Nike Airs. That's what I did with my refund check.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I still owe Penn State $1,500 to this 1,200 to this day. That's why I never got my physical degree. Definitely graduated, but I still don't have my. They gave me an empty degree, like degree withheld until financial obligation is fulfilled. You know how many things I've bought for $1,200 instead of going to go pay. Right now, I should go and like, let me go get this degree, finally put this shit on my wall. Fucking 33, literally 33 years later. I'm like, nah, fuck them. I ain't never getting no job with this degree anyway. Shit is fucking crazy. Yeah. I balled out with my last refund check. I said, look, I'm going for mine. Yeah, that Carl Kanai hoodie was that Carl Kanai hoodie. That shit was doing his numbers. That shit was doing his numbers.
When I had got my income tax, I told you I bought my boy's airball from him. I bought it from him for what, $350.
Okay.
You know what I mean, that shit was nice too. Until it started. No, matter of fact, I got in an argument. Me and my first kid's mom got in an argument. She just yanked that shit. That shit stretched like a slinky.
Yeah, man.
That was it for that.
I wish that the price of gold could return to what it was at that time. I bought that bone. It couldn't have been more than like $400, and that shit was thick as shit and kind of long. You know what I mean? By the time I was too rough for a bone anyway. By the time I traded that shit, it was almost crumbling. I was piecing the shit back together and trying to glue it and shit. It was fucked up. That shit was fucked up. Oh man. The 90s. What was everybody doing in the 90s? Clubbing. Wait a minute, clubbing. That's what was popular in the 90s. Clubbing. Clubbing was on fire in the 90s. Clubbing. It was clubs everywhere. Everywhere. Whether you talking about house music in the beginning of the 90s or whether you talking about all the hip hop shit, you know what I mean? It was a lot of clubbing going on. That was crazy. But was everybody doing it?
That's a good question. Was everybody going to the Google Bars?
That was very popular. They really picked up steam in the 90s.
Yes, they did. Shit. Shit. I know one thing. When I went out to the club, I put on my best. Can't believe that she said yes. That was my shit back in the day, boy. I was just too high.
Did everybody watch Martin? Did everybody watch New York Undercover?
Yeah.
No. Seinfeld?
Did everybody buy Biggie's Ready to Die when it came out?
Well, 2 million did.
Mm-hmm.
2 million absolutely did. I think that's so 2 million officially brought the East back. I'm like, that don't sound like enough.
Well, you got to realize something. It was bootleg out there back then too, son.
No, there ain't nobody bootleg Biggie first album.
Shit.
They didn't because nobody knew Biggie was going to blow like that.
Listen, I know when
Biggie album Ready to Die literally blew because it was good.
Yeah.
There was no anticipation. There was no build up to Ready to Die.
But they were still, when they came out, they were still selling bootleg DVDs, bro.
They was, but it wasn't. Nobody knew that Biggie was as good as he was for that album. Yeah, his first single off the album was unbelievable. That didn't do it. It wasn't until Juicy came out when motherfuckers was like, hey, then Big Papa, you know what I mean? And then, One More Chance wasn't even on the album. So, not the remix anyway. You know what I'm saying? So, like, he wasn't a victim of, you gotta think, Nas' album came out in the same year. Illmatic. That wasn't the reason that Nas' album didn't go gold or platinum. It's just that it was kind of a closed in thing. You know what I mean? Not everybody was into hip hop that way. You know what I'm saying? So, but nah, I mean, but 2 million, that shouldn't have been enough to so-called. First of all, I never bought that Biggie brought the East back. He definitely represented, but he didn't bring it back. You can't bring something back with just double platinum when other motherfuckers was selling more than that. But
it wasn't just Biggie. At that time, it was Biggie, Craig Mack, and Wu-Tang.
Puffy is the one that put it out there that Biggie brought the East back. They didn't credit nobody else with bringing the East back.
I say that he made a major contribution, but I think it was him. It was Craig Mack, Biggie. It was Craig Mack first because Craig Mack came out before Biggie. Because when I went down Virginia Beach for the Greek picnic, that's all you heard was that fucking and then you heard Juicy, and you heard Wu-Tang. So them three right there had major contributions of bringing it back. But to continuously do it, and in the way Puffy marketed them.
Well, yeah, I think it was just Puffy putting it out there that made people even say that shit. He said Biggie brought the East back and everybody bought it. Then when Biggie died, he said he was the greatest rapper who ever lived. Nobody said he was the greatest rapper that ever lived when he was alive. That's just not what people said. That's not what people said. Mm-hmm. It wasn't until Puffy put that shit out there and planted that shit in people's heads. So Puffy got a lot of power of influence. Puffy was literally the one that said he brought the East back. He didn't say Craig Mack. He didn't say Wu-Tang. He didn't say nobody else that was popping. Mm-hmm. He literally credited Biggie with that shit, and motherfuckers went for it. I remember looking like, word. Word.
You instantly went to New York.
It was ridiculous. I'm like, motherfuckers really going for this shit. I'm like, that won't work again until he died. But anyway, it's funny because you think about the 90s and you would think that everybody was into either Biggie or Tupac. And they wasn't. You know what I mean? A lot of people were, but you got to think there were so many super hot groups in the 90s. Dr. Dre, Snoop,
Wu-Tang, Brand Nubians.
But you can't count them because they didn't sell no records. Well, what Wu-Tang did, and Tribe always went gold, but the West Coast really gets more credit for being hot in the 90s than the East.
And if you really want to get deep into it, you can even add Hammer to it. I'm sorry.
You can't leave them out.
You can't leave them out.
You can't, not at all. So outsold almost everybody. Well, no. He went diamond.
Yeah.
But nobody going diamond?
Please don't touch him.
Yeah.
Would they touch this shit on
the West Coast owned the 90s. They really did. They numbers wise, they untouchable. Mm-hmm. Especially when you gotta give Tupac's most selling shit to the West. That's the illest part. That's the illest part about it. His East Coast albums don't count.
Puffy did invent the remix. Or he solidified himself as the remix, the person that invented the remix.
Mm.
Yeah, because well, I mean, shit, I still remember that fucking album.
How? Wait. How did Puffy? This is the thing about this is the thing about Puffy that always confused me. Puffy is not a music producer. Like he ain't in there on the boards. He don't know how to. He don't make music, but he always got production credits because he owned a company. He's not a producer. He was an A&R dude. He knows how to make stars. He knows how to build images and shit like that. But they be like, yeah, Puffy don't make no beats.
So let's just get it straight there, right? He know how to make stars.
Well, here's the thing is. Here's what the thing. Puffy did influence his producers to take records from the 80s and make those songs, the pop songs of the 80s, to use those beats to make songs in the 90s. So he told them what songs to put in there, and they made the beats and engineered them. But he's not a producer like a straight up producer. Like he don't work the mix boards and all of that kind of shit. That's not what he do. That shit used to be killing me. I'd be like, fucking. You don't sit here nobody saying, yeah, Puffy made this beat. But anyway, okay.
Google and see if he ever produced any songs or made any songs.
Is P. Diddy a record producer?
I'm just inquisitive.
It says, yes, Sean Diddy Combs has a decades-long run career as a rapper, singer, songwriter, and multi-platinum record producer, though he is also widely known as a music executive and founder of Bad Boy. Okay, over his career, he has released 5 solo albums, including his recent project, the Love album. See, the thing is, you can say that he's a record producer the same way you could say that like when you get production credits or writing credits, it doesn't necessarily mean that you wrote it. It means that you got the credit for it. It can mean that you paid for it. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, he told him what records what songs to put in there. But that's just like Eazy-E. Eazy-E wasn't a record producer, but he would tell Dre, like, yo, put this in there or do this. You know what I'm saying? And Dre would do it. So Dre is the real producer and he can do engineering. Whereas he can't, that's not what he do. You know what I'm saying? But Lucky Charm Diddy, simple songs, whatever. All right.
Me with 19 stories saying about me. He told me Puffy got me into something.
He did not invent or solidify the remix, Troy. He's got you in the sunken place too with his revisionist history spewing that. Yo, I'm telling you, he had influence that was, he had a different kind of influence. But I don't know. I saw right through that shit. I'm like, that shit ain't so just because you said it was so.
Well, the thing about it is that when he was doing with everything, right? Kanye did the same thing, and Kanye was the best producer ever.
Kanye is actually a music producer.
Right.
Like, he do this. He knows how to produce and engineer. Like, he actually gets on the mix boards and makes those songs. That's not what Puffy does. So, there's more than one way to so-called produce records. There are a lot of ways to jerk an artist out of their ass cap.
No, I agree with what you just said. But what I was saying is that when Puffy was using old school music and just like using old school music to make beats, people was frowning against that. Kanye came out and did the same thing, and people was like, he's a genius.
Well, I mean, in the 80s, when they was using James Brown and all kinds of and sampling, I mean, wasn't that genius at the time?
Yeah.
Not with the groups who sued. Not with the ones who
the
sued.
Yeah, but see, the ones that sued are the ones that had something to do with the song.
Right.
You know what I mean, it wasn't the public frowned on Diddy when he was doing that. Even if he didn't produce it, let's say he picked the albums or whatever, or people assumed that he produced it, right? They frowned. They was like, he ain't doing nothing but taking a fucking old school beat and just letting them rap on it. Kanye did the same thing. Shit, he took Through the Fire and just sped it up.
Yeah, but that's how he sped it up, and that's how he was able to clear samples.
No, he didn't clear the sample. Again, well, he still had to pay Shaka for that.
He did, but he didn't have to pay her as much. He was able to sneak some shit through by speeding it up. It was a technique until they caught on to it.
Mm-hmm.
The boy, Mr. Santana, said, "Bro was coked up." No, dude, I actually have allergies. Like my Zyrtec is right here. But I could see how you would look at it that way. All right. We already over time. We're gonna do these. We're gonna do the poll question, then we're gonna do the birthday shout outs and get on up out of here. All right. The question is: you have a show tonight, but you can't pay every musician. Who are you asking to wait until later to get paid? All right. 38%, which is the highest percentage, said the piano player or keyboard player. Wow, you going to ask the piano or the keyboard player to wait? You going? Okay. All right. 24% said the guitarist or bass player. All right. 16% said the drummer or percussionist. Okay, that makes sense because they're like, look, we got to have a drummer. I'm surprised anybody picked that. And 22% said the lead singer or brass or horns. What would you have picked if you had the aluminum piano player or keyboard player?
Yep.
Nah,
So I can get away with the guitar, I can get away with the drums, I can get away with the singer, I can get away with the percussion and all that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I don't need that piano and shit. All that. I can live with all that.
But the keyboard does so much.
Yes, it do.
So
you do so much. You just have to wait and get paid, bro.
Okay.
I give it to you. We have the show Sunday. You just get that money on Wednesday.
All right. Well, this is a pretty good poll. 58 votes. So not bad.
You know what I mean? Just gonna get that money on Wednesday. Matter of fact, the money is gonna hit my direct deposit Wednesday night. I'm going to the Thursday about 6 in the morning.
You gonna wait till you get money off the bar? Get the money from the bar.
I know one thing. I know son better not be no piano player. That shit tonight.
Look, I'm not chasing no fucking promoter around this goddamn club all night. You gonna pay me, motherfucker? I ain't going.
Shit, I already know that for a fact. If son piano player, he get this shit tonight. I ain't waiting for shit.
Now, you won't be having no piano played tonight. When I walk in that door, I have my money ready. All right, no pay, no play. All right. Okay, wait a minute. Knife Game Story says my rationale was that the keyboard player is typically less violent or reactive than the others, especially the drummer. Lots of those motherfuckers are on 24/7. We find out the piano or keyboard players are more laid back. Like, all right, okay, all right, we ain't get paid. All right,
it's cool, home skillet. Just have my money on Wednesday. You get your direct deposit Wednesday, right? Going on Thursday, have my money on.
Oh man. All right, Troy, man. I appreciate you calling in, my dude.
No problem, man.
All right.
I appreciate you calling in. Look, time and knife gate. Y'all trying to put me in my place about this music shit. I know enough about this shit too. Okay, but I appreciate y'all.
That's what's up.
He said Diddy got me at a soaking place, like he telling me get out.
You know, don't let him get you.
I'm glad he ain't have me on the tape.
Mm.
Look, man, love you, bro.
Love you
I'll
back.
let your boy, man. Most definitely, man.
All right, man. Peace.
All right.
All right, we have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious July 14th, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special, because they are special, because they are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They get number one out the box, Shonda Robinson. And also David P. Hardy, and he's raising money for the Latin of Philadelphia Charter School. And also Michelle Span, Lauren Gale, Lavon Belazaire, Dean Johnson, Marquita Jones, Starshine Dana Mocha Diggs, Shamia Jeanette Ennis, Marquita Woodson, Trey Washington, Tawana Deneen, Tiffany Frazier, and last but not least, my girl Rochelle Bailey. I want to say happy birthday to all of y'all, and I hope that today finds you all in good health, happiness, mind, body, soul, and spirit. And that goes out to each and every person out there born on this glorious July 14th, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out, rock on it, do the damn, to rock out. Rock on it, do the damn, rock out. Rock on it, do the damn thing. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember, yo, we chopping down these niggas just like timber. Yo, it's December. Actually, it's July. Sometimes I look at the sky and I ask myself, why my head when all my friends are gone? Well, they not all gone, but many of them passed along. And I'm singing a song each and every day. Yeah, I'm asking myself, what can I say to their people and sometimes their kids that have to live with the things and the crazy things they did? And I think to myself, how can I make things better? Enjoy my health and the wealth that I achieve. Maybe I'm not rich right now, but best believe I'm always striving and going for the next shit. Yeah, I'm proving and showing and I'm hoeing. You know, I had to stop that shit because you never know what might come out. Yo, I'm a hit as far as I can go. And I'm going to make sure that all my peoples have to know that I love them. I give them their flowers while they're here. And I'm saying that no longer I'm drinking beer and no liquor. And I don't even smoke the L, but I used to do that shit in 93 and as well. As I got a little older, brushed the dirt off my shoulder, had to say, yo, with rock is a boulder. And it's like two sides of the same coin. So Democratic and Republican, yo, they could join. It doesn't mean that we enemies because we on a different type of team. I brush my teeth with gleam. And what I'm saying is the shit is made to shine. So as you go for yours, I'm going to go for mine. And my man Tom, yeah, living in Boston, came down to New York a couple of times, kind of often. That's why I know the ways, and I understand that Woolworth was his favorite store that's back in the days. And ninth gate stories, praise, yo, all due to Allah. Yo, the ways of my actions, I'm breaking back, son. Yo, understand that I'm going to do this shit, and I'm going to tax one. Meaning I'm going to take your money, but I'm not going to jerk you out of that shit. I'm just making it funny. So you pay your money to get tickets to a fair. And yo, that's my last line. So I'm out of here. All right, y'all. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death. Resuscitate y'all. I love y'all right back to life. We will be back tomorrow night 1 a.m. in the morning. Tomorrow night is movie night, so y'all want to make sure y'all come through. My man Clay Biggins, what's good? What up, Wes? What up, what up, what up? Thanks for coming through, y'all. Appreciate y'all. Mucho. That's like a lot, a whole lot. Hit the like button before y'all get on up out of here. How we gonna have 60 votes on the poll, but only 22 likes? I'll tell you, man, this shit, the disrespect is criminal around here. It's criminal. But love is love, though. Hope y'all enjoyed listening to the show as much as I enjoyed broadcasting it. Shout out to my man Troy. Peace.